The important thing about amino acids to remember is that amino acids are the only molecules that contain nitrogen. And because that they do, when you metabolize nitrogen, invariably at some point it becomes ammonia. Okay? And there's got to be a specific way to get rid of ammonia in a non-toxic way. And that's why amino acid involves a unique cycle, so to speak, the urea cycle, which really is designed to take care of any ammonia produced from catabolism of amino acids. Okay, so that's very important. We'll get to that hopefully a little later today. But also importantly is that there is not a mechanism to store excess amino acids like there is to store glucose. So if you have extra glucose, you store it as glycogen. Extra fatty acids, you store them as tags. There is not a mechanism for amino acid storage in the body. We use amino acid to synthesize cellular proteins or specialized products. Any excess amino acids will be catabolized, broken down to give you a carbon skeleton, and that carbon skeleton can be further catabolized in any of the pathways we have already covered. Okay? So, important to realize that cellular proteins, you know, we are constantly breaking down cellular proteins and replacing them. Okay? Very few proteins, if any, last you a lifetime. Okay? The longest half-life of a known proteins is probably in the 15-year. Some proteins last a long time, but very few proteins last more than a few minutes or a few days. So what that means is that we are constantly replacing cellular proteins, enzymes, receptors, all kinds of specialized structural proteins. And that process of making and breaking old proteins, replacing them with new ones, is called protein turnover. Okay? So that number is somewhere around this number, 300 to 400 grams per day. So we break down about 300 grams, we resynthesize about the same amount to replace what was broken. So here you can see that most of what was broken down is going to be replaced to make new proteins. But we also have important dietary input. That dietary input will be used in 3 different ways. One, to help with the resynthesis of body proteins, cellular proteins. Synthesis of specialized products, which we'll get into towards the last lecture this term, which is some of these important products like nucleotides, like neurotransmitters, like heme, and so on. These are nitrogen-containing products that are derived from amino acids. The third fate, if you want, of amino acids can be to generate energy, use the carbon skeletons. Once you remove the nitrogen, you get carbon skeletons, and use those carbon skeletons either for energy, to form glucose or ketone bodies, or degrade them through all the way to CO2 through the TCA cycle. Okay? So the middle portion here is energy, specialized products. The bulk of really the amino acids are going to be to replace cellular proteins.